Alright guys, another episode of Short Side Wristers. On today's episode, we will discuss the new tuner that is coming, as well as the first stream from the House of Chel, and one last discussion regarding Hut in the All-Star game. Let's jump right into it. So let's jump in with the new tuner. So Flopfish tweeted out last night that this morning, January 25th, however, I don't see the update on my PlayStation, in regards to a new tuner being launched that coincides with the beta feedback that we've had. So I'm just going to go over the quick things and whatnot, and in the list, in the patch, in the tuner notes, about what is going to be changed back. So I'm going to read it verbatim, okay guys? First and foremost, this new tuner will use the beta tuner version 1.00 as the foundation for gameplay. When going through the feedback, a lot of people preferred the core gameplay aspects of version 1.00, especially related to skating and hitting, which is good because everyone basically said they wanted beta skating and nothing else, so it looks like they're leaving that as the foundation for this tuner, this current tuner, which means that skating should hopefully be the same. Version 1.00 as the foundation will be making the following adjustments to align with feedback we received. AI skaters will not perform defensive actions against the puck carrier. The beta tuner rollback allowed for this for the first 2 to 4 frames, which is why people saw the change in AI. Note, the AI will maintain their skating aggression and positioning from the rollback, as people preferred it opposed to the past gameplay tuner. So what I'm seeing here is, in the beta tuner when it came back, the CPU would take penalties as well as play the puck. So it will attack the puck carrier as well as actually attack the puck off of your stick, which promotes skill zoning, which they do not want in the game, which no one wants in the game. This will revert back to not really being able to skill zone because your AI doesn't really attack the puck. They kind of just put their body in there, making themselves essentially pylons. You have to be the one to take the puck back, which I do like. AI skaters will not commit penalties in online versus or Hut. This is great. There will be no CPU penalties at all in any online mode, which is what we had before, and it's just back now after the beta tuner. Reduce the chance AI skaters will put the puck over the glass for delay of game penalties in World of Chel. Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory as to why that is beneficial. Added back in the forehand stick lift face-off wind speed increase. When the beta came out, doing the face-off or the forehand stick lift would almost result in a loss every time because it was so slow. The animation was so slow. So them adding this back in allows that to actually be a viable move. Added in the fix to the energy regained at the whistle so that we will see more realistic rolling of lines. Many players commented that they felt they were able to stack their lines to use their top players more frequently, which provided less of a realistic experience. Essentially, your lines will get more tired, and throughout the game, you can't really just roll the first 3 lines and ignore your 4th because they'll get tired enough where you have to actually use all 4 lines. Good fix. This is what we wanted, and it's good that they brought this back. Tuning fixes for AI goalie logic for when to play the puck out of their net. Sometimes goalies were getting a little too aggressive. This will help prevent that. Yeah, so when the puck's dumped in and your goalie just goes for an adventure, that's not going to happen, which is fantastic because that was a mess in the beta and led to a lot of bad goals. So I'm glad that's brought back. Added back in consistency for user goalies to transition to post-hug at extreme facing directions. Essentially now when you switch to user goalie, if you're trying to stop the short side wrister or the quick wrap, you can basically switch and hit your post and it'll actually hug it immediately almost, which, again, great fix. Tuned back in the penalty logic changes for around trips. Tripping in the beta was a little excessive, and this just makes it back to what it was prior to the beta, prior to the beta re-release. This isn't going to be like it was in NHL 18 where you could spam it. It's just a good mix. You're gonna have to attack the puck first, but it's not gonna be literally you hit R1 within 5 feet of the guy and it's a trip. Won't have that anymore. Tuned back in the pocheck accuracy improvements. Again, this just coincides with it. When you actually hit R1, the stick will actually go to the puck or wherever you actually aim it when you hit R1. Split the difference on the stick lift penalty tuning so it will be between tuner 1.00 and tuner 1.03. A majority of the community mentioned that while stick lifts were too strong in the beta, They were also causing too many penalties in 1.03, which made them less effective. This change should help them find the proper balance. This is a good change. This means that A, you can't spam it, and B, if you hit A in after the beta tuner, it wasn't an automatic penalty, much like stick or pochecks were prior to it. So, and again, another good change, and I hope that we actually see that in the game. Added back in puck pickup tuning fixes. That's vague, and puck pickups have always been a problem, so let's see how that plays out. Tuning out dropped and broken sticks, again, in online modes. Fantastic. So now there's no RNG when it comes to a slap shot from the point late in the game, but in offline modes where it is more realistic, have at it. Added back in tuning to increase loose puck dekes. This is a big one, and I hope it does work, because there is a lot of dekes in the game that you just seem to lose the puck. Like, it'll just fly right on by, and you're like, okay, well, here we are. Tune back in the changes to lower goalies' ability to react to passes as quickly when they aren't reading the pass. So this is referring to how goalies were able to stop one-timers with those crazy desperation saves so consistently. So it should be back to what it was prior to this week. Tune back in fix to lower assistance on goalie passes, so they won't be automatic. You're going to have to aim your passes when controlling the goalie. And finally, we split the difference between Tuner 1.0 and Tuner 1.03 on the incidental puck loss distance tuning, but keeping the relative low speed hitting from 1.00. This will help address the complaints we saw in Tuner 1.03 around players being unable to bump players off the puck at low speeds in the corner, but reduce the amount of incidental contact puck loss that we also saw complaints from in Tuner 1.0. So basically what they're saying here is that bumps were way too strong on the beta tuner, which is right. But when the 1.03 was out, you could basically never get the puck back unless you didn't let them in the zone, held along the boards, pochecked the puck off of their stick, or just wait for a change in possession, whether it be a shot or a block shot. I hope that this is effective, and we actually see that, because it was very, very difficult to get a puck back from a good player or even an average player in the tuner in 1.03. So. Now, I'm on the game right now. It's 7 a.m. and I'm not seeing any update. It was supposed to come out 5 a.m. Eastern time, so maybe there's a delay. But as of right now, this isn't in the game yet. We still have that beta tuner, but I'll keep you guys informed on Twitter. So with the tuner not being out, even if it is out today, it looks like players are going to have to adjust for this weekend's esports tournaments with a new tuner out, which again makes it extremely tough. But once it's out, then it looks like we have this for good, or at least until the next few patches. As far as small tuner and tweaks, it won't be anything as drastic as what we've had the last 2 weekends. So I'm excited for resolution at least, and I think the beta tuner is going to provide enough feedback for the game to get it right, which I'm excited about. So this Friday or today, the Detroit Xbox and PlayStation brackets for the first 2 qualifiers for the Detroit esports event will take place. It's 128 people, best of 1 single elimination. It's the first 2 of 16. And then obviously tomorrow we have Washington Capitals' 3rd qualifier. And then we also have the Jets' 2nd qualifier on Xbox. And then on Sunday we have the 2nd Jets qualifier on PlayStation 4. So big weekend in esports. We're coming to a conclusion at some of these events now. And it'll be great to see who can qualify for each of these events. Couple notes for the All-Star event that's happening. So the skills competition is happening tonight. So this would be the last time that you'd really be able to get any of the big name All-Star cards for much cheaper than they're going to be if they do win a skills competition tonight and get boosted to 99 as far as the stats that are coinciding with that event. Do need to mention though, guys, that the Avalanche's Nathan McKinnon, he has to go for an MRI, and it's throwing his appearance or actually participation in the event in jeopardy. It looks like he's not going to play in the All-Star game. He's going to the event but not going to play, which makes it extremely less valuable of a card to have. So if you do have the Nathan McKinnon All-Star card, I would sell it, even if he does play in it. He's got a problem with his foot, so I would sell that card for sure. As well, guys, I would just keep on NHL.com to see if they do release who is participating in what skills competition, even if it's 20 minutes before the actual event. It could be the last time to actually flip for cheap the cards that aren't participating in any of the skills competitions that you think are beneficial as far as the stat increases. But whoever's in the hardest shot, you want to pick up. Whoever's in the accuracy challenge, you want to pick up. Those would be the two that I would look for. Even if it's happening real time, have the auction house open maybe on another screen or on your phone, and just make sure that you're picking up the cards if they do win. This would be a great time. Do not post any of your cards if you're selling them that are set to expire during the All-Star game, guys. Don't put them up for sale right before it starts, because you could really, really do yourself some damage if you put up, say, Seth Jones for the hardest shot competition an hour or 2 hours before the game time for 6 hours, and now he's stuck on the auction house, but he won the event. I would just wait if you are going to. So around 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern time, I would just chill and wait it out at that point. And lastly, yesterday we had our first House of Chel stream where TDI Nasher represented the NHL community, basically just at their mansion and whatnot that they're staying in for the All-Star event. It was a little, there were some technical difficulties, and production was run a little awkwardly, but after about the first hour, it seemed pretty fluid with everyone they had there, again with JT Brown and whatnot as well. I'll say this, though, any time that you get over 4,000 people watching an NHL video game event stream, I'm super stoked for, because it just shows how much people will watch at a promoted event if they do put the effort into it. And like I said, the overall number was great to see, and I expect that they're going to talk more about Gaming World Championships. Maybe they do have that hashtag NHL GWC, so maybe we hear more about the Gaming World Championships that were announced, but we'll just have to stay tuned for that. So guys, that takes care of it for me this week. I will be back with the next episode of Short Side Wristers on Monday, covering all the esports events that happened, as well as the tuner, my initial thoughts on the tuner rollback and how it's going. So guys, I will see you next week. Thank you for listening and liking and all that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do appreciate it, and I will see you guys next week.